ladies and gentlemen. Happy Black Friday. I know a lot of you probably have off work, so hopefully you're enjoying your day off. And welcome to, let's do it the right way. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Believers Talk. My name is Joe, and welcome to this Friday afternoon injury report edition of Believers Talk, as we're going to talk about some of the injuries that are going to plague the Buffalo Bills, not only for this coming up game against the LA Chargers, but also for the remainder of the NFL season. We found out some unfortunate news today about some Buffalo Bills players, one in particular, a season-ending injury for Cody Ford. We'll talk about how that may affect the team and some replacements potentially for the Buffalo Bills. Just saw the news, Joe. No bueno, no, not at all. Brian, welcome to Believers Talk, guys, as we find out a Buffalo Bills player is out for this season. And we also find out that offensive weapon, one of our big offensive weapons, is also out, and that's going to be unfortunate when we talk about Sunday's game. I just said yesterday in my preview video that I thought John Brown was going to be available for the game on Sunday, and we all know the difference between this team when John Brown's on the field and when John Brown is not on the field. And then we hear about Cody Ford's season-ending injury as well. Not good. Welcome, Scott. Welcome, Dragon Wolf. Not John Brown is rough. It's going to be the third game, I believe, this season that he will miss, maybe the fourth game this season that he will miss due to an injury. Listen, we love having John Brown. He does a great job when he's on the field, but hopefully he can be healthy by the time playoffs come around, right? I still think this Buffalo Bills team is the favorite to win the AFC East, which means we are going to host a home playoff game. And hopefully John Brown's right by then. Like Scott Blakely said, next man up. So let's talk about the next man up. Who is that going to be, guys? As you come in here, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. If you're not already subscribed to Believers Talk, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. So can't afford to lose this one. Says Dragon Wolf, talking about the game against the Chargers. Again, I still think the Buffalo Bills can win this game by double digits. I expect the Buffalo Bills to come out angry after a loss 2 weeks ago, coming in off a bye, staying at home. Plenty of reasons why the Buffalo Bills should take care of business. But if you look at the LA Chargers, listen, the Chargers have 7 losses. Not a single loss is by more than one possession. They did lose to the Dolphins by 8 points. That's their biggest margin of defeat so far this season. So we know they play teams close. They play teams tough. And we talked about that yesterday in my pregame video as well. Mitch Morse, as Scott Blakely just brought up, Mitch Morse is predicted to start at center for the Buffalo Bills this Sunday. So that's a huge relief, right? Mitch Morse coming back from concussion protocol. We know that he's had a few concussions over his career, and it gets scary at times. And we hope and wish him nothing but the best, not only as a Buffalo Bill, but as a person, as a husband, as a father, all those things. We wish him nothing but the best. We want him to make those decisions that are best for him and his family, and he feels like playing football is still a good decision for him and his family. I'm not going to dispute that. I know how good he can be, so I love seeing him at center. Just hope that he is healthy and ready to go. John Brown, Ray Dizzy is out as well, according to Coach McDermott. Gabe Davis steps up for his bolt. Singletary will be a factor, says Bill Stampede. Scott Blakely, I'm still full from yesterday. Yes, if you weren't joining me yesterday, I hope you all had a happy and safe Thanksgiving. Hopefully you're enjoying some of those leftovers today. Get some more pumpkin pie in you and just enjoy another beautiful day. I know there's some college football today, so if you guys are into college football, make sure you watch and have a great Friday, right? Have a great Friday. Get ready for a wonderful weekend. But yeah, so 2 big names are out for the game. Cody Ford, like we said, out for this season with a knee injury. Unfortunately, he re-aggravated a knee injury during practice, I believe on Tuesday, maybe even on Wednesday. And so he will be out for the season. And John Brown listed as not playing for this game, according to Coach McDermott. So it's 2 big absences. You look at Cody Ford, and there are ways to replace Cody Ford. He has missed a few games this season already for the Buffalo Bills. And due to the injuries on this offensive line, talk about John Feliciano to start the season. You talk about Mitch Morse with the concussion. There have been a few injuries. So at left guard, a lot of the times for the Buffalo Bills to replace Cody Ford has been Ike Bacher. We've seen Bacher come in and take that position, and he's held his own. I'm not going to say he's done good, but he hasn't done terribly. He's held his own as our backup guard, and I think that he can continue to do a good job. However, we might not need to use Ike Bacher at left guard. He could be a potential bench player, rotational player if we need him. With both Mitch Morse and John Feliciano back. Listen, one of the reasons why the Buffalo Bills signed John Feliciano last offseason was because John Feliciano is very versatile. He can play the offensive line in many positions, including guard, including left guard. So there's definitely a possibility that the Buffalo Bills put John Feliciano at left guard, leave Mitch Morse at center, and then we have the rest of our offensive line ready to go. Who do they call up to take Ford's spot? Dane Jackson Dane Jackson is a corner, not offensive lineman. So I don't think Dane Jackson would do a great job there at the corner. But what we're going to do is probably have John Feliciano play left guard, and then we'll have Ike Bacher if we need him as well for depth at that position, like we've done the rest of this season. The big concern, I would love to see Yeldon start at running back. Our running backs stink. They have no breakaway speed, and they're not running from anybody. Listen, it's not all on our running backs, though. I mean, look at how we've had to scramble this offensive line throughout the season, and look at the lack of usage of these running backs in our offensive system. How did they do against New England? They did all right against New England, right? We'll all agree that they had a good game against New England. Both of them did, Zach Moss and Devin Singletary. When they're used consistently, they can get their legs under them. They can start working the offensive or the defensive line a little bit. Listen, the defensive line that doesn't have to play against the run will be fresh whenever you try to run on them. So you have to, if you want to address the running attack, the way to do that is to run the ball more. Run the ball with more consistency. If you spread the defense out with your wide receiver sets and use the running game to your advantage, again, we saw it against New England. We've seen it at times this season. We saw it last season with Devin Singletary. These guys aren't scrubs. They're just not being used to the best of their capabilities, okay? And the moment that Dable realizes that, the moment the Buffalo Bills do that, the moment these running backs will start to show up. Listen, I think the last month of the season, these running backs are going to surprise a lot of people and remind people just how good the Buffalo Bills running backs can be. Remember, October football is different than December football in Buffalo. We don't want to show all our cards early. And with December football coming up, you know that we're going to be running the ball a lot more. And I think that's when Zach Moss and Devin Singletary will take over for this team. And people will be happy with the production of those two guys. But yeah, the offensive line, as Scott Blakely said, it is a major cause. No rhythm due to lack of use. Those are what I'm talking about. You lost your mind. We got the best running back duo in the league, and it's not close, says DK. Isaiah Hodgins is now designated to return. So when do you think we see him? We could see him as early as this week. Actually, that was going to be one of those players that I thought could potentially replace John Brown. If you move Gabe Davis to John Brown's slot, so then you have Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis as your two. I know Gabe Davis's production has been slipping a little, but as Scott Blakely said just a little bit ago, next man up. He needs to step his game up, especially if the Buffalo Bills are looking at him to be a potential number two long-term for the Buffalo Bills. Because remember, John Brown only has 1 year left on his contract. So you talk about bringing Stephon Diggs as the one. You have Gabe Davis as the two. You have Cole Beasley still as your slot guy who can do amazing things in the slot. We all know that. Then you have your fourth guy. Who is that going to be? McKenzie? Roberts? Hopefully not. We've seen Roberts play well on special teams, but he does not do well when he has to help out with the offense as well. We saw against the Tennessee Titans, I believe it was, he had to be an offensive guy, and then we saw special teams struggle because of that. So I hope it's not Andre Roberts, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Isaiah Hodgins in the one of the men on the active roster to replace John Brown, or maybe to replace Gabe Davis's productivity, as we hope Gabe Davis replaces John Brown's productivity. Sit John Brown until 100%, prepare for playoffs with him healthy. Well, it depends how our offense can look without him, right? Because I thought he looked 100% in that game against Arizona. I thought he looked fine. I know he got tripped up towards the end. I thought it looked really good the week before that as well. I thought that we were beginning to see 100% John Brown, but some of these injuries linger, right? And if these injuries linger, you might feel 100%, but you're not 100%. Your body is still recuperating. So John Brown might be in a little bit of that phase. I personally think if our offense looks good this week, then yeah, maybe you can sit him against San Fran with all the injuries over and that San Fran's facing right now. However, you don't want to take a single team lightly in the NFL. Right now, we're a game up on the Dolphins. We want to make sure we maintain that lead going into Week 17. If not, we can go ahead and maybe even get a wider gap there. 4 straight primetime games, says Anthony John. December is full of primetime games. After this game against the LA Chargers, we go to San Fran on Monday night. And then I believe we have a Sunday night game against Pittsburgh, then a game against Denver on a Saturday, then another Monday night game against New England. Guys, and Scott Blakely in particular, I want to make sure you understand that with my new schedule, I have a new schedule, and unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about it. I will not be able to be live for the Monday night football games, okay? So I'll still give you live player-to-player reaction to every single Buffalo Bills Sunday football game, but I will not be able to be live for the Monday night football games for the next upcoming weeks. Hey, Daniel, how you doing? Good to see you in the chat as well. So make sure if you guys are unable to watch TV on Monday nights and you use me for your play reaction, that you find another way to watch the games. Bills have bad history on primetime games, says Scott Blakely. Hey, listen, we're undefeated at 1 o'clock Sunday games. Why can't we just keep to those? I think we're doing all right. So 1 p.m. forever, says Dragon Wolf. I would love that, but it's going to be 1 p.m. this Sunday, so make sure you join me right here on Believers Talk, because I give you live play reaction to the game between the LA Chargers and our Buffalo Bills. We beat Pittsburgh and Dallas last year in primetime. Josh Allen doesn't seem to mind the primetime games too much, so hopefully it goes to our advantage. Would love to see the Buffalo Bills beat some more of these playoff teams, right? We were able to beat Seattle. We were able to beat the Rams. Some of these teams we were able to beat the Raiders. Some of these teams that look like they're playoff contenders, we were able to beat them. So for anyone who said we haven't beaten anybody, yes, we have. Don't let them fool you. This Buffalo Bills team is legitimate. This Buffalo Bills team is looking to go 8-3 on the season and keep at least that 1-game lead. I know a lot of you are hoping the Jets get their first win this week. I don't see that happening, but I wouldn't mind seeing it happening either. Wouldn't mind seeing the New York Jets get their first win against the Miami Dolphins. Had Arizona till, Dragon Wolf, I have to bring that up. I don't have anything else to say really about the injury report. Again, Cody Ford out for this season. Ike Bacher has been taking Cody Ford's place, so we might see more Ike Bacher on the active roster. And also now with Mitch Morse and John Feliciano both available, you might see Mitch Morse now in at center, and that means John Feliciano can use his versatility in different spots on that offensive line. Again, remember, that's why we picked him up last season. So use his versatility to your advantage. Unfortunate news for Cody Ford. I know some people are talking about Cody Ford being a bust. I think it's too early in a young man's career to call him a bust. Remember, we've been moving him from different, McDermott has been moving him from different position to different position. Hard to get into that rhythm, right? So, obviously everyone's like, oh, well, I would rather DK Metcalf in the spot. Well, of course we would rather have DK Metcalf in the spot, but you also have to consider the fact that if we have DK Metcalf, do we trade for Stephon Diggs? Definitely something to consider when you're talking about the way the Buffalo Bills have worked since the draft in 2018. So we'll see what happens with that. But again, Ike Bacher probably going to replace Cody Ford. Maybe see John Feliciano in there as well, replacing Cody Ford at left guard. As far as John Brown goes, to me, that's the bigger concern for this week. Obviously, Cody Ford for the rest of the season, you have to worry about that offensive line. That offensive line has yet to get that continuity, right? Unfortunately, injuries have plagued the Buffalo Bills offensive line for most of the season. Would love to see him get some more continuity, and that would definitely help out this running back duo of Moss and Singletary when we hit the cold days of December here in Buffalo while they're playing on Sundays. You're going to see the run game a little bit more, increase the workload a little bit more, and hopefully it comes to fruition and we see this run game healthy, and we see this run game active, and we see this run game that hasn't really had had to have a lot of carries throughout the season. So if we overload the run game at the end of the season, it might work out to our advantage. So we'll see what happens. Psyched for Monday Night Football against San Fran and New England. I hope that you guys enjoy Monday Night Football. I'll be watching it, but I won't be able to watch it till like 3 a.m. So I'll be staying away from my phone so I can watch the game and hopefully enjoy the game. But right now we're talking about the LA Chargers. Don't forget, join me on Sunday at 1 o'clock. I'll be going live around 12:30 Eastern time. Get you guys ready for the game between the Buffalo Bills and the Los Angeles Chargers. Like I said, whether you're watching the game and you want to join me and hang out with Bills Mafia, or you don't have a way to watch the game and you want to hang out right here, either way, it's a lot of fun. But the injury report for the game, Cody Ford out for the season, so we'll see some replacements for him. And then also John Brown not playing on Sunday. Hopefully we see Gabe Davis step up a little bit. Maybe see Isaiah Hodgins make his debut as a Buffalo Bill. We have McKenzie out there, see what he can do. And again, I hope we keep Roberts just solely for special teams, but we will see what happens. Tough year for Cody Ford. It absolutely was. Too bad about Ford's knee tough break for a young player. Hopefully next year we get to evaluate him a little bit more. He does have a 3-year contract, so next year would be the last year, I believe, on his contract. So hopefully we're able to evaluate him a little bit more next season. It's an unfortunate injury at an unfortunate time. Tom's camp coming in saying that the Buffalo Bills, they need to find that replacement for Cody Ford. He's got the blow-up dial just in mind to do it. So again, guys, thanks for joining me on this edition, this injury report edition of Believers Talk. Again, both Cody Ford and John Brown out this Sunday. Cody Ford suffering a season-ending injury, and he will not be playing again for the Buffalo Bills this season. Hopefully we see McKenzie, as Anthony John just said. Hopefully we see someone step up, light it up. Again, I still think we can beat this Chargers team. I still think we can beat this Chargers team by double digits as long as we make sure Josh Allen doesn't turn the ball over. So I look forward to talking to you all soon. Again, join me Sunday for the game. We always have a good time. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button, like this video. I look forward to talking to you all soon. Until I do, go Bills.